Hi, I'm Margaret, and you're watching me on YouTube, either on my playlist Maggie Ann Psychic World, or you're catching me on my Facebook profile, Maggie Ann Psychic World. And I'm outside in Arkansas, and my dogs are running around, so they may interrupt my video. I'm gonna talk about some updates on the Summer Wells case, because I have been a dedicated person interested in finding Summer. I want Summer Wells to be discovered. And I've noticed that her mom, Candus Bly, has a YouTube channel, and she's been going on there trying to be friendly and be helpful as much as she can. She's her mother, Candy, and Candace aren't very social, as we can see. Their social skills are country people, very limited with their close friends and family. And I can understand that, being in Northwest Arkansas. I understand some of their difficulties. I prompt this video because Candace had said on her video in March, she was reading some of the comments, and she saw my comment, and she got really angry about it. She had said to some of the critics towards her, her reply was, "What you don't understand is that Summer was my best friend." And she's fiddling with her controls, trying to do her live and learn at the same time. And a little bit of time went by, and then I posted a comment saying, "What about Jessie? Who's Jessie's best friend?" And she saw it roll by, and she says, "This bitch gotta go." And when she did that, I pushed her button. I pushed her buttons with that, because I haven't seen anything for the boys is the same balance. The same balance isn't going for the boys and the girls. And now I don't know that the boys are in foster care, where they are, but I believe that Jesse knows something. I believe that because Donald brought him on the very first interview when Summer went missing, Jesse standing next to him. And then in church, Jesse's being cuddled by Candace. And that's why I said, who is Jesse's best friend? Because I know how much Candace loves Jesse. And I know that Summer isn't lesser or more. You know, I know that there is not a motherly, oh, my dogs are playing, a motherly equal. Because why would somebody have a daughter and say she's my best friend? You know, a lot of people have a problem with that, because parents are supposed to be rearing their children, raising them, and they're supposed to be teaching their boys to respect the girls, and the girls shouldn't have to defend themselves on their own and protect themselves against the boys. If that was going on in my family, one of the boys would get a whooping, because they are supposed to respect girls, and the girls are not supposed to give a cause to anger one of the boys. You know, we're supposed to be respectable towards one another. And so she's showing me some of her parenting tools, what she does at her home. And then I watched the Chris interview room, and the analyzation of Summer's grandma talking, and what that is being missed is Candy's an old lady, and she has very limited social skills. You have to realize her social skills is within her family or one or two close friends, and that's it. She doesn't have any social time, really. And when she's going to be asked questions, there are some points they made, like, you know, she's avoiding that they have not reached out to law enforcement for information, that they're expecting law enforcement to reach them. They have not asserted themselves really out there doing anything except for complaining about how they want things done. We're supposed to be catering to them, and law enforcement, everybody is supposed to cater. So that's how that's the only thing I really bothered me about what Candy was saying, is she avoided anything that made her family reach out for information. But when she stumbled about the swimming hole and said the horse ranch, I believe that she was there. I believe that she just was trying to figure out her wording on that, and because she didn't go swimming, Candace didn't go swimming, she said Summer went swimming. And when she says that when they came outside after they arrived home, and she went in for a nap, and then we come outside, that meant Candace come outside and she come outside, they all come outside and meet and discuss, you know, that they're going to do some planting. Country people talk a little different than city people. They don't talk the same. And that's what I think that analyzation is missed, is there's a difference in lingo and communication skills that country people have. And I'm really concerned now with a lot of the gossip going around that Donald Wells had Summer and took her somewhere, and then all of a sudden she was missing as a cover-up, and things like that. I still believe there was an accident and something happened, because as a paranormal psychic, I did get a strong broken message as a broken neck, and I don't believe she's living, and the Wells are showing themselves to not believe that Summer is living either. So people need to start excusing some of the coping mechanisms that the Wells are trying to use to get through this, and start paying more attention to the more important things that are going on around them. There's been a few red trucks, Toyota trucks, that have been owned by people around the Wells that really does need investigating. And I think that there's some animosity between the law and the Wells right now. Donald's in jail. Donald Wells is in jail right now, and that's Summer's dad. And he doesn't really have control of Candace. And my comments to Candace is, are you going to start going to AA, or are you going to start doing things that are going to promote you in the court of law and child protection services, that you are making a positive difference in your home and yourself, not just the outside, on the inside too? Are you going to start going to maybe some support groups for substance abuse programs? They're out there. You shouldn't be ashamed of that. A lot of people have tried them. I tried some groups when I was in my early 20s, and off and on into mid-20s, and then I knew I had to get real and do it all on my own. It just had to get done. I had to start taking care of myself and caring about myself. You can't care about anybody else unless you care about yourself first. That's just the way life is. And Candace has got to get real. She's got to get real with her circumstances, and I wish people would stop nitpicking at little things like, oh, and they're saying Summer as a past tense, like she's died, and oh, look at them, they're laughing and having a good time and things like that. People minds have to have some pleasure in life. You have to have some happiness and some stimulation and positive energy to keep going. You can't just be down in a hole every day and expect somebody to survive. That's manic depressant, and nobody wants the Wells to be like that. So be a little real about this situation going on. And if Candace has bipolar, I'm not saying she does, but it's better to go get meds for something that is making it hard for you to stay sober than to pretend like it's not there and keep relapsing. You know, the last thing you want to see yourself is in jail too, and you're never gonna go forward like that. So there's something that the Wells are protecting the public from the boys. And when Candace said, this bitch has got to go, when I said, who's Jesse's best friend, that was a button I pushed. The boys know something. Jesse knows something. And it's wrong if they're keeping him from telling the truth, because that's a hell of a weight to carry for a little boy. You know, that's wrong. And that shouldn't be happening to a little boy. And if there is anything that these parents have done, you know, they better grow up and start being responsible to their kids, to think about their futures that they're going to have. You know, they're going to want to meet somebody and fall in love and have a family so that they can have a stable family for their kids too. You keep things all bottled up inside, and then little kids are going to grow up with dysfunctional families of their own, and they're going to lie and they're going to cheat because they're taught that. They don't know how to be responsible adults. They have no structure to be that way in training. So it's to me, that's really disturbing for somebody to protect the boys from telling the truth. That's really, if that's going on, that's really bad. When I said, what about Jesse, who's his best friend? If it was me and I was in this circumstance, I think I would have said, well, I contact Jesse and we see each other, and I'm doing the best I can with my boys, and I want them to know I still love them, and I'm working on making things right for us. And I would do something that would reassure everybody around me that I'm on the up and up and positive going forward, not this bitch has got to go, you know. So to me, that's an alarm, or that's a red flag, and it's supporting my past videos on my psychic readings that I've done. And when I did do some card readings there last summer, end of last summer or early fall it was, of 2021, there was a contract involved in a card, and it was right around when it was the same exact time that Candace called Mary and said some men came and took Donald, her husband, Don, away. And I think that really happened, because the cards that I read at the same time that was going on was confirming what was happening. At that same time, I was reading the cards. I posted those videos, and bam, there was Candace contact Mary, crying and sobbing, and oh, what an act she put on. I don't think that was an act. I think that really happened. And when I confronted Candace about that on her YouTube video, she didn't respond. She didn't deny it. You know, that was a true incident. And it may not have been law enforcement that came for Dawn. She may have just changed the pawns, the names of the pawns, the characters, put a different label on them so she could talk about it. It could have been somebody that he knew, or, somebody affiliated to somebody he knew. I wasn't there. I don't know who they were. We know they weren't law enforcement, but I believe that was an actual event, that truly did happen, that somebody came and took Donald away from his home, and Candace freaked out and called Mary because she was scared. And I don't believe that was an act. And she just took the pawns. Candace has been practicing deceit and lying all her life, and she's still doing it. She's still doing it, and she's going to have to work at being with the truth. She's going to have to work at it and learn to trust it and how to come forward with it and enjoy some of the gratitude that comes with it of being a responsible adult. That's part of giving up your bad habits, your alcohol and drugs, is when you go sober and straight, you have to live the up and up to keep yourself that way. The deceit, the lies, the cons, all the negative supports a bad habit, whether it's food, alcohol, drugs, whatever. Whatever your addictions are, it just feeds it. Once you start being real and you want to live a real life, everything just fits and your energy level goes up, and everything starts coming together, the security in your life, and your trust in God being there, holy God being there, and knowing what He wants for you. It's easier to understand what He wants for you, and etc. So everybody have a nice weekend coming up, and I will check in another date. And the sun's going down, as you can see behind me, and I'll leave some comments on, but if you guys aren't nice, I'm gonna turn them off. And my disclaimer is everybody is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law in the United States of America. These are my opinions, my rights to my opinions, my observations, and my life experiences that I have had at the prime age of 61 years old, being independent woman. So my psychic qualities are in my channels and in my Facebook, Maggie Ann Psychic World, that nothing is man-made of mine and fake. Everything is real and natural. Thank you. You have a good night. Bye.